You are about to enter the Red and Rev Sports Show experience. Get ready for some real sports talk from some real sports fans who were real sports athletes who have sports knowledge. You are
Hey everybody, we are back at it again. Episode 174, another Saturday morning. Well. What's on the docket for today? You know, one quarter through the NBA season, I think it's time to separate the NBA men from the NBA boys. What's going on in college basketball? What's going on in college basketball? Yeah, they actually been playing games. Houston has a big problem in Deshaun Watson. How great is Aaron Rodgers? And has Tom Brady solidified himself as the GOAT? This and more. Episode 174. Let's go.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Red Rev Sports Show with our boy, Coach Patrick Thomas. We're coming to you live from the ATL, giving you real sports talk because we are real sports fans who are real sports athletes who have what? Real
sports knowledge.
So come on out. Hang out with your boys, Red Rev and the coach for the next couple of hours as we give you episode 174 of the Red Rev Sports Show. And as is our sports custom, let's go. Coach Patrick Thomas, what do you have for us when it comes to 174, sir?
Good morning, everybody. For 174, we have Hank, something dealing with Hank Aaron. In 1974, he broke the all-time record and became number one all-time with 715 home runs. So that's your 174. He became the number one all-time home run hitter in 1974.
All right. Thank you so much, Coach. Those glasses working for you this morning?
You got your music playing.
Oh, that's what happened?
Yeah, I couldn't.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for letting us know about Hank Aaron becoming, you said, the home run champ. So you're saying he became the home run leader in 1974?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for that information. Let's get ready to continue on in the spirit of the Red Rev Sports Show. We want to say good morning to everybody who is tuning in. Let's see. What's going on, Brother Joe Black? Shelby's in the house. She's looking for a home girl. Kelly, where are you? Good morning, Sister Harris. All right, nice numerology. Your number one fan is in your Amen Sports Corner, as usual. Thomas Holcomb, morning, y'all, coming from the Bareback Alligator Swamp Sledding Championships in Willacoochee, Georgia. Thank you so much, man. We want to get a live report from what you're witnessing up there in Willacoochee, if you don't mind. Who else? I can't. Okay, my bad, Derek Jones. Thank you all. Y'all are proving the coach. I got to put it on lower. So I apologize to Coach this morning. Good morning to you, Armani. All right. I think everybody has my voice, so that's why I had the music a little loud. But nevertheless, good morning. Let's get ready to start this episode 174 Red and Rev Sports Show business. And if you don't mind, as we get ready to start, let's have some folk, if you don't mind sharing that, hit the share button on Facebook. Also, you can use share on YouTube as well. Let somebody know what you're watching on this Saturday morning. We're going to step it up and pep it up because we're kind of sluggish this morning, but we're going to pep it up and step it up. Let's get ready to do it, fellas. Here we go with Dope, Nope, and Cope on this morning. All right, I'm going to start with you, Red. Start us off on a high note. What are you doping on this morning?
I guess I'm doping on Joel Embiid, my MVP preseason MVP pick, averaging 28 points a game, first in PER, and over the last few weeks, the last few days, been averaging about 35 points, double-digit rebounds. So Joel Embiid gets my dope, making me look good. I picked the NFL MVP. Look like I'm on my way to picking the NBA MVP. Joel Embiid, dope.
All right.
Excellent. Absolutely excellent.
Coach, I'm going to go to you for what are you doping on?
I guess I dope on the New Orleans Pelicans last night. I talked about them bad last week, and then they step up and come and beat one of the top team in the NBA. Eastern Conference, the Milwaukee Bucks last night. So I don't know if this is a turning point. They turn the corner or what, but we're gonna see the Pelicans play one of their best games last night and beat the Bucks. So I get the Pelicans a dope moment.
Awesome.
All right, and I'm doping on the Utah Jazz. They have been playing some serious basketball. They've ascended to the number 1 seed in the Western Conference because they have an 11-game winning streak. Who would ever thought, the Utah Jazz? And they've been winning even though Donovan Mitchell has been sidelined. Jordan Clarkson has been playing some great basketball. And I'm sure we'll talk about the Utah Jazz a little later in our contender or pretender segment of this show. So Utah Jazz, 11-game win streak. They get my dope moment for this week.
Winning.
Coach, it's on you. What are you noping on, sir?
I'm noping on the Atlanta Braves. Once again, you have failed to spend money, and now the St. Louis Cardinals have Nolan Arenado, one of the guys that you should have been looking at trying to get to come in and play, but no, you allow a team in your own league, the National League, to go get a great player. So I'm giving a note to the Atlanta Braves. Well, I guess Liberty Media for not spending money again.
All right. My note moment goes to people like Red and other people who are wasting my time on Facebook believing that the Buffalo Bills were going to beat my Kansas City Chiefs on last week. And they got drilled in the AFC Championship. So my note moment goes to the Buffalo Bills. All right?
No.
Red, what are you noping on, sir?
I'm noping on Chad Wheeler for the Seattle Seahawks. Arrested this week and simultaneously released this week for choking his girlfriend, not once but twice, all because she wouldn't bow to you. She regained conscious and you choke out again. Dude, this has gone far beyond mental health and bipolar issues. Dude, you a freaking monster and belong in a freaking cage, okay? And I hope when the prosecution hear the case and hear everything about it, you remain in a cage, and that's exactly where you belong. And on top of that, she happened to be a black woman too, which makes it worse. Dude, you gonna come and attack one of my sisters? Are you kidding me, Chad Wheeler? No, buddy.
Oh, come on!
All right, and now we move to the Cope section, and this has definitely been a week of losses. And in the sports world, there were 2 huge losses this week. Beat reporter Sekou Smith, NBA beat reporter, who came out of Atlanta, did a lot of work for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, who ascended into the national landscape of sports journalism. He passed away in his 40s this week. And then also we lost one of the great black basketball coaches who pioneered the way for black coaches in NCAA men's basketball, Coach John Chaney, who coached Temple University, and many people remember him going after John Calipari during a press conference. He was one that did not cut corners, nor was he one who sugarcoated the truth. So rest in peace to both Sekou Smith and John Chaney. Go ahead, Brett. What are you coping on?
Coping on with the Braves missing out on another star. They could have got to improve the roster. Nolan Arenado, another guy they possibly was in the mix for, gets traded to the Cardinals. And who knows if they're going to re-sign Marcell Ozuna? Who knows if they're going to trade for Chris Bryant? Who knows? The Braves still trying to win, being cheap. Like I said.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I hope these prospects that they so desperate to hold on to, I sure do hope they pan out for them, because they are holding on to them tightly close to the chest. I sure hope they pan out for them.
Okay.
All right, Coach, to close it out, what are you coping on, sir?
I'll kill you. Oh, I'm sorry. That's John Chaney. I'm sorry. I'm coping on with one young Mr. Bradley Beal, who I don't know if you're coming or going, but with your Wizards in the cellar in the Eastern Conference, you might want to be going. Maybe somebody will pick you up. Maybe you got to stay and suffer, but You got to cope with what's going on, Mr. B. COVID done jumped you. So you got a lot of issues that you're working out, but hey, keep hope alive, brother.
All right. All right, let's go to the fans, see what they're talking about as they have their comments, giving their dope note cope segment of the show. Let's see what they're doping on and coping on. What's up, Chris Trailer coming in? What's up, man? Glad to have you tuning in. Shelby started out with her cope, the loss of legends Cicely Tyson, John Chaney. Multiple legends gone in the last few weeks. Indeed. She's also doping on the Hawks and Trae Young playoff bound if they continue to play well. Derek Jones is doping on Deshaun Watson, officially wanting out of Houston. We'll see if that will come into fruition. We'll talk about that a little later in the show. Joseph Black doping on my Kansas City Chiefs. That's what I'm talking about. Shelby is noping on Deshaun Watson leaving Houston. New coach said he took the job because of Deshaun. Doping on the Falcons hiring coach Dan Peeves, who is also known as Dan Reeves.
Dean Pease, man.
Dean Pease.
Who?
Dean Pease. That's his name.
Oh, Dean. Okay. What is he coaching?
The defense, I believe.
Oh, the defensive coordinator. That's what everybody was talking about this past week. All right, Dean Pease. All right. Thank you so much for the correction. Joe Black, the media's handling of Chad Wheeler. He's noping on that. Shelby said the Buffalo Bills were a waste of time. They'll get there one day, but this is not their year. My note moment goes to the Wizards, free Bills. Sound like Red right about that, Dante Armstrong. Shelby McDonald, I do hope Chad Wheeler meets a friend. It sounds like classic Shelby right there, no doubt. Thomas Holcomb, 2021, acting like 2020. Tell Mr. Ripper to sit down. He's coping on 2021. Joe is also coping on Sekou Smith's death. I don't know whose name Fluffy, but okay. Amani is coping on John Chaney, who coached my very family's own Aaron McKee, passes away. Glad I got to meet him before he passes. That's awesome that you got a chance to meet him. And indeed, people like Aaron McKee coached Mark Macon, Tim Perry, all those guys who ultimately went to the NBA. He was great, and he was one that stood up against the NCAA and culturally biased tests, man. John Chaney was a good one. He was up there along the line of John Thompson and the black coaches who set the table for a lot of these black coaches today. They're gone, man. It's a tough pill to swallow. Derek Jones, cope would be Sekou Smith and Cicely Tyson's deaths. All right. I see the tie-in that you and Shelby have been making to make it sports-related, putting in the other people who are sports-related death. But we do want to pay homage to Tyson. Matter of fact, I don't know, Red likes to be the entertainment guy on here. We'll ask him some thoughts about Cicely Tyson in just a moment. Jonathan Russian, what's up, bros? What's up to you, brother? And Shelby says, Bradley Beal, bless his heart, no doubt about it. And also dope, me taking the breakfast chef job with the Jaguar. What's up, Joe? That's good stuff right there, Joe.
There you go, Joe Black.
Joe, man, I gotta find something that's appropriate. Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Joe Black. That's what's up, man. I'm proud of you, bro. Atlanta's own Joe Black. Y'all show some love to Joe Black. That's what's up, man. That is what's up. I'm telling you, if you're ever in Jacksonville, Joe Black is somebody's chef. My mother and I have eaten his food, and that brother can cook. All right, he ain't playing around. Joe, man, I'm happy for you, bro. That's dope. That's dope. I wish I had known that before the show. You would have had my dope moment for that, man. That's big time right there, Joe. That is big time. I'm proud of you, bro. Brother Joe Black, man. That's what's up. Yeah. Don't hate, participate. Show some love to Joe. That's great, man. So, Joe, when you get big, get even bigger, don't forget about your boys on the Red Rev Sports Show. All right?
We hungry.
All right. That's dope. That's dope. Congrats from the Red and Rev Peanut Gallery. That's what we call it in the chat line now, Vincent, the peanut. Peanut Gallery. That's what we're gonna call the Red Rev Peanut Gallery on the comment section. All right, let's move on, man. That good morning, somebody. Good morning to you, Miss Heather Joy. Glad to have you this morning.
Hey, Heather.
There you go. I love the love. That's what we kind of promote on my M&M Prayer Fellowship on Facebook. We don't hate, we participate, we rejoice in other people's blessings, because if we can celebrate somebody else, that means God will find out that we'll celebrate what he does for us too. So never hate on anybody's blessings. Always participate and watch God bless you because you participate in somebody else's blessing. That's my Rev take and Rev moment for the day. All right, let's get ready to move on. Yes, sir, Rev. I got you, man. Let's get ready to rock and roll with some sports talk. And I guess it's fitting that we'll start the show off with some basketball talk. So I know somebody is going to type, and it may be Vincent Woodruff, cue Curtis Blow. And here it is. Sports talk on basketball, NBA contenders and pretenders. And let me do a job to try to set this thing up. At this time, we're going to put a team up, and I guess we'll look at the standings as they are right now. And what we'll try to do is to see if we consider them a contender or a pretender. Fans, help us out with this healthy NBA basketball exercise so that we can see what you're thinking about. And if you disagree with somebody on the panel saying that a team is a contender or pretender, feel free to explain why. And we'll be happy to read your comments. For the sake of time, we'll just focus on the top 4 teams in each particular conference to see if we believe that they are a contender or pretender. So let's get this party started. Right, Coach, I'm going to come to you. The 4th seed in the East, Boston Celtics. Help us out with your expertise. Are they a contender or pretender? Give it to us, Coach.
The Celtics are a contender. They're gonna be around for a while, and they're gonna tear some people up. I think the Celtics gonna be around, may even make the finals.
So you're saying they're a contender to win the NBA championship or a contender to win the NBA East?
East right now.
All right, so you give them being a conference contender, but not a championship contender.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Red, what's the Celtics? Contender or pretender?
Pretender. They're a pretender. The top 2 in the East are going to be Philly and Brooklyn right now. I don't see Boston sneaking in the way. And they don't have too many chances anyway. They're a pretender. I agree with Jonathan. They're a pretender to me.
All right, and it's on me, the Boston Celtics. When it comes to the NBA championship, they are definitely a pretender. They don't have enough. Jaylen Brown has been an awesome season. He has stepped up his game. Jason Tatum has shown himself to have flashes of greatness and superstardom, but they are not yet there. Thank you, Vincent, for queuing up Curtis Blow for me. And I don't think that they have enough to compete with the likes of the Bucks and the Nets to make them a legitimate, even Eastern Conference contender, because I see them out in the semifinals. So I'm going to say pretender, and we see that most of everyone. Oh, Chris Traylor says they are a contender to win the conference, but not the ship. So therefore, he's rocking with Coach's assessment. All right, let's go to the next one. Next team. The Milwaukee Bucks. Red, I'll start with you. They're in the third seed in the East. Contender or pretender?
Well, they obviously a contender. I'm saying they third in the East. Matter of fact, all these teams are possibly gonna be contenders, but they're still a contender to come out the East. I don't see why they wouldn't be. I mean, it's too early to say for me to see a reason why they wouldn't be right now.
What about a championship contender?
If you can come out the East, you can win a championship.
So you thought the same thing about the Miami Heat when they won the Eastern Conference last year, that they were a contender to win a championship?
I don't remember what I said about Miami this time last year, but I probably did. Milwaukee is definitely a contender.
So Milwaukee is a contender to win the chip. All right, Coach. Contender or pretender, Milwaukee Bucks?
Bucks are a contender to win it all. In my opinion, I think they got enough to. All they have to do is continue to play the way they are. I think they're doing well. They should be a contender to go to the finals.
Are they a contender to win the championship?
Yeah, they got some things working for them. They added a piece or two, so I think they can go all the way. In my opinion, I think they're ready. I think Giannis said he got something to prove by coming back, so he focused on winning it all. So.
Jonathan Rush said he doesn't trust Coach Budweiser. All right. I think they are a contender to win the East, but they're not a contender to win the championship. Giannis has not improved his jump shot to the point where he shoots the outside shot with enough fluidity in order for them to be able to move to the next level. Teams will continue to drop back on him, force him to hit jump shots. And until he can prove that he can hit the jump shot with more consistency, the Bucks are not a contender to win the NBA championship, even though they can contend to win the East, and they are my Eastern Conference pick to win the East, but they won't win whoever comes out the West, especially if it's the Lakers or the Clippers. They will not be able to win because Giannis's jump shot is not where it needs to be as of yet. All right, let's see who we got next. All right, the Brooklyn Nets. I guess I'll start this one. Offensively, they're a contender to win it all. Whenever you have three offensive weapons, such as KD, probably the purest scorer in the NBA, you got James Harden, Kyrie Irving, two of the best one-on-one players. They are definitely in contention to go to the NBA championship, and if all three of them got hot, even to win it. But I think they're more pretender than contender because they don't have leadership. And when you get to the NBA playoffs and championship, you need somebody who can lead by example and settle the troops down. Plus, they gave away their bench to get James Harden. So I'm going to say they are a pretender in when it comes to winning the NBA championship, but a contender to come out the East. Red, what do you think?
Nets are pretenders. Don't believe in them. Never have believed in them. Never will believe in them. Don't have enough depth. They're what LeBron James would call a pop-heavy team. They're most definitely pop-heavy. Like you said, they definitely can score with anybody, but the defense is a real suspect. And like I say, no real leadership. We'll see how it all play out. In the playoff time, just probably have three superstars, and all three of them probably the most mentally weak of them all. But KD is showing to have a little mental strength, but his counterpart not going to be enough to lift them over the two teams I got at the top two teams. So they'll get to the playoffs and win a round or two, but that's about it. And I'll be laughing when they all fall apart.
All right, Red, move your microphone closer to you because you're going in and out as you speak. Coach, contender or pretender? Brooklyn Nets.
One sentence. The Nets will make playoffs.
We know that. We need you to expound a little bit more.
That's all I got for them. They're not going anywhere. They don't have enough You look on the bench and see 3 or 4 people sitting there. Come on, and these guys have to play 50 minutes a game. Their so-called big three that will not last over 72 games. They won't make the championship in the East. They won't make the championship of the NBA. They'll be a good experiment. It'll look good. So on paper, but game not played on paper. They played inside little TV sets. Pretenders.
All right. Well, we see that most of the fans think that the Brooklyn Nets are contenders, and we all said that they are pretenders. Those people who said that the Nets are contenders, besides the names, because we know that Kevin Durant is a name, Kyrie Irving is a name, James Harden is a name, and they can ball out. Tell us beyond the names why they are contenders. Come on, help me understand this. And I see Alexis says they are contenders to win it all, but got chemistry questions. So if you don't have good chemistry, are you really a contender? Vincent Woodruff says they'll get to the dance, but we'll be hanging out at the punch bowl. They'll implode early. So Vincent is on the same vein as the panel on the Red Rev Sports Show. Come on, contenders, before we go to the West, tell us. Jonathan Rusher said buckets in the fourth quarter. Let me ask this question. If you don't have a bench, and if you're playing 40 to 48 minutes, will you have the legs to get buckets, even if you got all three? Because you got to have some time to rest in the NBA. So will they be able to get those buckets in the fourth quarter? That's a question. Joe Black says if Harden stays out the strip club, they'll be contenders. That's an interesting take. I didn't know that their success was predicated upon what happened off the court rather than on the court. Anybody want to jump in on the panel about Joe Black's statement? Coach, are you there?
I don't think it's any strip clubs in Brooklyn. Well, yes, it is, but I think he stay out the buffet. That's what he needs to stay away from, the buffet table.
Okay. All right. We'll move on. Armani said they're just contenders for the East. That's it. Don't play yourself. Derek Jones is saying Joe Harris is a beast. He's a sniper, but he is a defensive liability. And once they get to the playoffs, they will expose Joe Harris as a defensive liability like I do on NBA 2K1. He's a defensive liability on NBA 2K1 for the Brooklyn Nets, and he surely is one in real life. Trust me. That's how I just help you beat the Brooklyn Nets if you play NBA 2K1. When they got Joe Harris on there, isolate him, go to work on Joe Harris. That's how you beat him on NBA 2K1. Joe Russian said it's going to be really real tough to close them out when they're getting automatic buckets from KD in the fourth. Again, they don't have depth. Again, KD got to score, but he also has to defend. Will he have the stamina and the energy? Because let's remember what we didn't bring up on this panel yet. At the guard positions, there are two defensive liabilities. One in Kyrie Irving, another one in James Harden. So defensively, the Brooklyn Nets have a lot to be desired. So KD, he's going to have to do a lot of helping on defense to help out Kyrie and James Harden's lack of defense, even though folks want to say James Harden's great defensive. He knows how to play the passing lanes. That's how he plays defense. He can get steals and things of that nature, but guarding somebody straight up, he's a little suspect. All right, Woodruff, Harden won't have enough legs in the fourth to make those down the stretch traveling plays. I like that traveling plays, but I agree with you. Chris Traylor, they will get and play well in the fourth quarter. They will gel, and play well in the fourth quarter. They got to have legs. We'll see if they can hold on without any depth. Thomas Holcomb, the Wheat Street Youth Fellowship team of 1990. There's classic Thomas Holcomb, baby. Amari said KD gets tired. They aren't robots. No bunt, no bench, no contender. Then Shelby says, we know James Harden disappears in the playoffs. That he does. Vincent Woodruff, the Matador defense will send them home early. Nash better get ready for it. And what's up, Curtis Roberts? All right. All right, let's move on. As we want to talk contenders and pretenders talk when it comes to the Western Conference. And again, we're just going to tackle the first four teams, 1 through 4 currently as they are listed in the standings. All right, Coach, get ready. They're back at it after missing the playoffs last year. The San Antonio Spurs are the 4th seed right now with an 11-8 record in the West. They have percentage points. They're over a little bit over the Denver Nuggets when it comes to conference record. So Denver's at 5 and the San Antonio Spurs at 4. Contender or pretender, Coach? San Antonio Spurs. Remember, before you answer, they do have DeMar DeRozan and LaMarcus Aldridge. Plus, they have Coach Popovich.
Pop on his way out. This is his last year. He said he's going to make one last run. He'll get them to the playoffs, and then, poof, they're gone. They won't be lasting long. It'll be over with. So, pretty easy pretenders.
All right. Easy pretenders for you, Red?
Yeah, easy pretender. No threat to me in my team anyway. I didn't even know they was 4th seed, but definitely pretenders.
All right. And I'm joining the pretender club for the San Antonio Spurs. Indeed, they are pretenders. They are definitely pretenders. If by chance somebody's watching this broadcast outside of the Red Rev Sports Show Facebook page, YouTube channel, Periscope channel, and you want your comments to be seen, if you're on Facebook, come on over to the Red Rev Sports Show page, hit the like button, join us so we can see your comments. So in other words, if you're watching this page, or post rather, or show on my page, or if Coach or Red did a watch party, we won't see your comments. So we want you to be a part of the show. Come on over to the Red Rev Sports Show Facebook page so we can see your comments, because we know there's some great commentary going on. Alexis Hill says the Spurs are pretenders. Thomas says Pop is going to have to put on a uniform. And Derek Jones makes a basketball prophecy. If they get Drummond, they're contenders. I still disagree about that. No. I don't think Drummond has the offensive prowess to make them a contender. You got to be able to score. Drummond can preserve possessions with offensive rebounding, but I don't think he has the offensive punch to put him over the hump. And anytime DeMar DeRozan is your main guy, you're struggling to be a contender. He needs to be the second or third guy on the team, not Batman. Coach, you said nope as well. So when it comes to Drummond joining the team, why did you say no?
He can't help them. That's another big man. They need some shooting. He can't help them. They're still pretenders all the way around.
All right, Coach.
No chance.
Who would have thought we would be saying this, but the 3rd seed in the Western Conference, Reds, Los Angeles Lakers. Contender or pretender? I'll start with you, Coach.
The only way the Lakers are contenders is if Alex Caruso steps his game up.
Wow. I didn't see that one. Now, why is Alex Caruso so key, Coach? What's up?
No, that was a joke. You know they contenders all the way around. They still got the team intact. Plus they got everybody in the right pieces. Now the only thing that may stop them from being possible contenders for the championship are injuries. Because Anthony Davis is hurt, and he can't afford to be hurt going down the stretch and going to the championship. You got to have him on the floor. So injuries might be the only thing stopping them from going to the finals. That's about it.
All right, Red. Hopefully this subject matter will perk you up. So tell us why the Lakers are a contender.
We're contenders because we're the champs. And I haven't seen anything from any other team to make me not think that we're not going to win it again. And, of course, injuries would derail any team that's a contender. So of course, injuries would derail us, but take away the injuries, we're gonna win it all again. I don't see why we're not contenders. I don't care if we were the eighth seed, first seed, second seed, third seed, fourth seed. We could be the 10th seed, and I still say we win the playoff game to get in. So nothing worrying me right now. Championship contenders, guaranteed.
All right, and I joined the championship contending club. I will say they do need an extra player to make their journey a little bit smoother. Those losses of Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee are paying large right now. They sure could have used Dwight Howard the other day when they played against the Philadelphia 76ers and Embiid. Marc Gasol is not athletic enough to be able to defend people like Joker and for the Denver Nuggets, Embiid for the Philadelphia 76ers. Anthony Davis is soft. He can defend them for a moment, but he doesn't want to defend those kind of guys because he's not physical. So I do believe that the Los Angeles Lakers are in search for another big man, an athletic big man. Though Marc Gasol is a great offensive player, passer, decent three-point shooter, his defensive days of being the defensive player of the year are far in between in these days, and he has to definitely sit on the bench in the fourth quarter. So they need to find a way, maybe possibly get JaVale McGee if there's a buyout. But since Cleveland is doing well, they have no reason to buy JaVale McGee out. So they're going to have to find somebody. I like the pickup of Montrezl Harrell, but Montrezl Harrell is too short. So he gives them energy, but when they play against those dominant big men who have about 3 or 4 inches upon him, he's not as effective on the offensive side as well as on the defensive side. So the Lakers definitely need to shore up their chances by getting another big man, because that helped them out huge last year when they had 2 athletic big men, and I think they might have messed up letting Dwight Howard go. All right, next one. I'm going to start with Coach, because I already think I know where Red is going with this one. Los Angeles Clippers, contender or pre-tender? And as Coach is talking, I'll post your Lakers comments, fans. Go ahead, Coach.
Clippers are contenders. They're doing that. Look like load management again, and like they're trying to say.
You're going in and out, Coach.
Leonard and George for the playoffs. I don't know if that's true or not, but they hadn't played in the last couple games. So, but they're on point. They look like they can be contenders for a championship. They got, Ibaka is playing well. They got a decent squad. They're gonna be up there, but load management again, my favorite word. We're gonna see how that works for them.
All right, Red. Los Angeles Clippers, contenders or pretenders?
Pretenders. And they gonna be pretenders until it's proven otherwise. What have they done to make anybody think they're gonna be contenders? A team that ain't never got out the second round, they are pretenders. Okay? Nothing they do in the regular season matter. Paul George can put up all the numbers he wants to. Kawhi Leonard can do and say whatever he wants to. Look, this team is a pretender. Look who they got coaching them. Tyronn Lue. This guy is a mental head case. He ain't got LeBron to save him no more. Okay? So, pretender. And if you think they're a contender, good luck.
Ooh, this is a tough one for me. Kawhi Leonard is a champion, 2-time champion.
Now with the Clippers.
Well, you don't have to necessarily be a champion with a particular team not to be a champion. He led a team as a champion, as a head guy. So he led the Toronto Raptors, even though they were out without KD. They won a championship. So you can't take that away from him. Paul George is a little suspect. So I'm going to have to lean more toward pretender from winning a championship, because we've seen, as some people have called him, Paul George to be pandemic P in the playoffs rather than playoff P. And Paul George is the question mark. Kawhi Leonard is that dude. but Paul George is the question mark, so that causes me to hesitate calling the Los Angeles Clippers contenders to win the championship and even to come out the West. So I'm going the pretender route. All right, last one. Who would have ever thought the Utah Jazz are the #1 seed right now in the Western Conference? We'll start with you, Red. Contender or pretender?
Definitely a contender. They're playing very impressive basketball right now. Got me worried a little bit because it's always tough to win in Utah. I got to give Quinn Snyder, I got to give him some props, man. He always got this team in contention, no matter what type of players they give him. I mean, the guy can coach. He's proven he's definitely a coaching commodity. Donovan Mitchell's out. You still got Mike Conley leading this team. I really like him. I really do. Utah Jazz, they are definitely a contender to me. I'm very, very, very impressed by them.
That's funny what Dante said. All right, go ahead on, Coach. Contender, pretender. Utah Jazz.
Pretender with a capital P. Pretender with capital P. They do it every year. Always have a nice record. It looks good on paper during the regular season. Then they get in the playoffs and somebody just out-athletes them and beats them. That little system they run, it doesn't work, and they just out-athlete them going to the championship. Utah is going to do the same thing, like they do every year. Good record, but playoff anemic.
All right, and I'm gonna join Coach with the capital P.
Pretender.
I'm gonna join you, Coach, with the pretender. Tom said Utah Jazz will soon be playing a funeral march. That's a good one. And they're definitely pretenders. They have a good, solid roster. I mean, we can't sleep on Mike Conley Jr. Donovan Mitchell is a beast. That was a great pickup when they got Jordan Clarkson. You know, Rudy Gobert is a great defensive player. Doesn't give you much offensively, and then they have some good shooters with Ingles and Bogdanovich. But what happens when you get into the playoffs? What teams win the championship? Teams that have a superstar or superstars. And the Utah Jazz have neither. So therefore, they will not be a contender because they don't have that player who can command fouls being called in their favor down the stretch, like the Lakers have a LeBron and AD, like the Clippers have a Kawhi, like the Nets have a Kevin Durant, like the Philadelphia Sixers have in a Joel Embiid. The Utah Jazz, they are a solid team, but they will not be competing for anybody's championship. And if I were the 4th seed in the West, I would be salivating if the Utah Jazz remain as the #1 seed, because I would love to be the 4th seed, because I believe that they are easy out when it gets later on in the playoffs because they don't have a superstar. That's my take. Cavs got more of a chance out of the East than the Jazz have of the West. I'm not going to say that, Armani. I think we've been giving your boy Colin Sexton a little props. I think we're going a little bit too far, but I think they have an equal chance. Both of them not getting out. They have the same amount of chance, in my opinion. Joe Black, the Jazz are the Saints of the NBA. Good regular seasons, out early in the playoffs. And Derek Jones wants to ask a question. Why does Shaq hate Gobert so much? Coach, you know the answer to that question? Do you know the answer to that question, Coach? And Coach is frozen. All right. We'll get back to him later on. Red, there was somebody who proposed something.
What's that?
Let me find that comment real quickly, and I'm going to Coach, you freezing up, man. Get your signal right. We'll come back to you. There was a proposal. Here's the proposal, and let's see if you like this. It's for your Los Angeles Lakers. Here it is. Where is Nerlens Noel? Where is he playing? He would be a good pickup for the Lakers. What's your thoughts about that?
How much is this
Making all
salary?
that money.
Hold on, Coach. Your signal is bad. Your signal's bad. Work on your signal, man. We'll be right back. Go ahead.
How much is his salary?
Uh,
I mean, is he making high salary? Because if not, yeah, I tell you, we need that size over there. I told
Well,
you, I'm not really sold on Gasol down the stretch. I told you I would not. I keep telling you I wouldn't be surprised now if we bring back JaVale McGee. Don't be surprised if we bring back JaVale McGee.
I don't think you're gonna get JaVale because Cleveland's gonna be make the playoffs.
I don't care what Armani said about his little bitty cousin Colin Sexton. Okay, you should have asked that question about Cleveland. Are they a contender or pretender? But my first answer would have said they are a pretender. The Cavs are a pretender.
Red, don't waste time on a topic we're not talking about. Cleveland is not in the top 4, so we're not going to waste time talking about their contender or pretender. Let them elevate, and then if they get to that point, the next time we come around, we'll talk about them. But let's stay with Nerlens Noel. You asked the question, how much does he make? He makes $5 million, the veteran minimum. So $5 million, is that a good salary for the Lakers to be able to tag on?
Probably not. Let me say one more thing. This is for our money. Colin Sexton is pretending to be a superstar. Now that's my last thought on that. Our money. Your cousin is pretending to be a superstar. That's why Cleveland, the Cavs, are pretenders. All right. Now back to the $5 million. Hey, if they can figure out a way to make the deal.
Hold on right quick, Red. Thomas said, Coach, put some foil on the lampshade. Coach, are you there, man?
Coach, you on froze again?
Coach.
Oh,
His audio, man. We're going to have to remove you, man. We ain't pick. Y'all may see Coach next week, all right? Vincent. Hey, Kelly, I'm sorry. What's going on, Kelly?
They killing Coach on all these accounts and stuff.
Yeah, Coach got Metro PCS dial-up connection. I thought he left that back in Mississippi. Vincent, you didn't hit him with the Mississippi joke, did you? Oh, man.
That's a Mississippi phone company or something.
Armani said he set you up, Red, by making that comment about Cleveland. He says, I got him right where I wanted him with that comment. Red, stop hating. It's not a good look.
Hey, man. You left me open with your boy. I got to get on him. But, yeah, he had to pray, man. He been playing pretty good, though, Armani. I give him that. He had 29 points the other night in the win. He playing pretty. He might be a contender for the NBA's most improved player. I give him.
Yeah, that's real talk, right? That's real talk. Kelly said, "Y'all stay off Coach. Y'all stay off Coach."
Hey, Rev.
Coach. Yeah.
Rev.
Yeah.
You left out something.
What's that?
You left out the Philadelphia 76ers.
Oh, I did. Okay, we'll go back to him in just a minute. Here's some news for you, Coach.
I seen them. I saw them all. I said I saw it. I got something for everybody. Just hang on.
Boy, they've been letting you have it. They've been letting you have it, Coach. Got that PCS, Metro PCS dial-up connection. He thought he left it back in Mississippi, Coach. Vincent came.
Hey, Vincent, don't you ever say anything about Mississippi. Don't you ever say anything about Mississippi, Vince.
Sago said Coach got that cricket all terrorist.
Hey Tim, I thought we were better than that, man. You didn't invite me to the barbecue, so you gonna talk about me now? Oh man, I didn't get any barbecue.
Oh man! All right, the team. I thought I talked about them, but I guess I didn't. Okay, real quick, let's go back to these Philadelphia 76ers, contender or pretender. Coach, since you brought it up.
Philadelphia is a contender. Somebody told Joel Embiid at that time, and he said, "Okay, I'm ready." He gonna see if he can carry the team with him. Ben Simmons, you still got to shoot, my brother. It's called scoring. I know you. I can't deal with Thomas. I know you can go to the basket, but come on, Ben, help your boy out. I think they contenders and could possibly win the East.
All right, Red, put your camera up a little bit. Philadelphia 76ers contender, pretender, Red.
Definitely a championship contender. Actually, my pick to come out the East. Joel Embiid is my pick for MVP. I hate what they did to my Lakers the other night, but they might be a valuable adversary to play when the finals start. Definitely contender. I like them a lot. But like Doc Rivers had to go to the East to figure out a way to beat my Lakers, because he couldn't do it in the West. He only could do it in the East, Doc. Remember, it's either with the Celtics or the Sixers, because you couldn't do it in the West. Not playing in the building that we call our house. Not coming to Staples Center and saying, we're gonna cover up the Lakers banners with Clippers stuff. Oh no, Doc, you already lost when you did that. So when you did the right thing, go back to the East and try to beat my Lakers that way, because it wasn't working in the West. Good job so far. We might see you at the crossroads, Doc. We might see you. I can't wait to get that get back. I like it. Definitely a championship contender in the East.
I disagree with both of y'all. They're pretenders because it's the same thing when it comes to Giannis with the Milwaukee Bucks. In the playoffs, they scheme, and teams are gonna scheme for Ben Simmons to have to shoot the ball. So they know that Joel Embiid is that dude. You flipping your camera, Red. Keep it straight, please. They know that Joel Embiid. Flip your camera, Red.
Oh, hold on. My bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, stay on task. You're messing up the screen. Stay on task. Chat with the fans during halftime. All right. They're pretenders because Ben Simmons has to improve his jump shot. Period. And until he improves his jump shot, they are not going to be a contender. So they will compete in the East. They may even come out the East, but they won't win the championship. Joel Embiid showed me a little something against the Lakers the other day where he can't sustain playing at a superstar level for 4 quarters. He gets tired. He dominated the Lakers in the first quarter. I mean, he looked like the best player in the NBA in the first quarter. But when he came back in after having that rest, coming into the second quarter, his play went down and the team's play went completely down, and the Lakers had a chance to pull away from him at that moment. Joel Embiid, he needs Ben Simmons to be more of an offensive threat, more so on the outside. And until that happens, there'll be nothing but pretenders. So that's my thoughts. Let's see. Joe said, tell Joel stop crying about LeBron not getting kicked out. Armani, 76 need to trade Ben Simmons to the Cavs with Sexton. They need another scorer, make that trade. Wishful thinking. He wants his cousin on his favorite team. I see. 76 is a strong contender. I think they're one player away from winning it all. I'm a Lakers fan, but truth be told, they're 2 players away. Ben Simmons, you got to be able to shoot. If the Sixers had Dame Dollar instant contenders, I think that would be the truth for a lot of different teams. They had Dame Dollar to what they already have. So I don't know about that, Derek. That'd be true for so many other teams. Alexa says, I think they're contender to come out of the East. They can beat the Nets. Joel Embiid is playing on MVP level. Dr. Rivers was the right coach for the team. He's brought the best out of them. I agree with that. In terms of Doc Rivers, if Shaq can work on his free throws improved and Ben can afford to hire a shooting instructor, he's still young and moldable. This is all up to him. And the rest of his career, they'll do a 30-30 on Ben one day. What could have been? I agree with that. And for the simple fact of what you just said, Ben Simmons has been in the league for how long now? About 4 or 5 years? 4?
Mm-hmm. Yep, 4 or 5.
Now let's look at Ben Simmons, and then let's look at Giannis. Giannis did not come in as a superstar. Giannis came in as a scrawny young kid raw talent, didn't have a great jump shot, wasn't a great scorer, but he's worked on his game year after year after year. What have we been saying about Ben Simmons the past 3 seasons? He needs to develop a jump shot. And even after summer, what does he come back not having? A jump shot. So I think he got his money. He's getting paid 20+ million. He is not concerned about improving his game and his jump shot because he's already paid. So therefore, I don't ever think we'll see Ben Simmons care enough to be a championship type caliber player, superstar player, because his work ethic is a little bit shabby. Our mind says, and he isn't doing anything to elevate his game. He's not working on it at all. Indeed, he's the same guy built. He's relying on his muscles, relying on his size, but he's not improving his game. Vincent said Giannis has a hunger and he's more of a hunter. Ben enjoys being fed. He's a buffet type guy. Shameful waste of time. Tell us how you really feel, Vincent. I love the analogy, though. That's a great analogy. Vince, that's probably the comment of the day right there. That's a great analogy. Couldn't say it even any better. And nope on Ben Simmons. Vincent said zero work ethic, it seems. All right, gentlemen, that's some great contender, pretender talk. We're going to pause right there, and we're going to make this halftime of the Red and Rev Sports Show. We had a great hour of sports talk. Fans, y'all been coming strong with your comments. Hang out with your boys for one more half of the Red and Rev Sports Show. We're coming right back. Halftime. Red Rev Sports Show. See you soon. All right, gentlemen, halftime is over.
Coach. Coach.
The Wi-Fi has struck again. Coach is frozen. We thought we were going to have a treat. So we have to come back to Coach another time. And we're going to have to find Coach another station because we've been saying too much of Coach's Wi-Fi. So, yeah.
How does that keep happening?
Say it again.
How does that keep happening?
Don't know. Don't know at all. But we'll move forward. Halftime, oh yeah. Chris Traylor. Halftime commercial. Come join us in the Peanut Gallery on the Red and Red Sports Show and be a proud peanut. Chris, you took Vincent. You ran with it, bro. You ran with it.
That's
Huh?
enough for the peanut gallery.
Oh man, that's pretty funny. Tom, it's time for the update. Tasmanian hedgehog bowling. All right. And
We need to get a TV on you, Thomas, so we can see some of these things. Because if I see some Tasmanian devils bowling on television, that would be a sight to see.
all right. Well, coach's connection is down, so we're gonna have to move on without him. We're not making any picks this week, but we'll move on without him, and hopefully he'll join us in just a moment. All right, let's get on, man.
All right. Let's do it old school style.
Good old school style, man. It's been so long since it's been just a two-man gang. We know that
I gotta wake up.
there were some coaching hirings that took place with the Houston Texans head coaching job. They hired their guy, who was definitely not one of Deshaun Watson's guys.
Guy.
And they hired David Culley, as their head coach. And then the Detroit Lions had their hire on this week, and they hired Dan Campbell. So, Red, once again, two more hires, no black guys hired.
I thought that was last week with Dan Campbell.
It was. You're right. So we just got
it was another team that hired a coach. It was Houston, and it was one more team that we were waiting on. That was the last team.
Was it the Chargers?
The Chargers hired the guy from St. Louis, I think, the Rams.
Yeah. Well, let's just deal with the Texans. That's the big story.
Okay.
Let's deal with the Texans, and then we'll go into dealing with what's the deal with Deshaun. So
the Eagles, that's who it was. It was the
Philadelphia Eagles. Right. Yeah, Philadelphia Eagles. Good way to catch that on. So what you got?
On which one?
Well, let's start. We'll go with the Eagles then. We'll go with the Eagles first. They hired somebody that was nowhere on the radar, and his name is Nick Sirianni.
Yeah, Nick Sirianni. I remember his name.
Nick Sirianni is the head coach of Philadelphia. What are your thoughts?
Soprano. We can come up with all the Italian slogans we can. Coach, you back? Your Wi-Fi working?
We'll see, man. Let's not get too happy. Go ahead, Nick Sirianni.
Nick Sirianni. Let's just say I don't think Nick Sirianni passed too many public speaking classes in college. Your press conference yesterday was a complete and total failure, man. You did nothing. If I was a player on the Eagles watching his press conference yesterday, I would have been like, man, we are done for. This guy can't lead us nowhere. You fumbling and stumbling and bumbling through your press conference, and I'm supposed to think that you, Mr. Nick Scoriini, or Sabatini, or Scaffini, or Soprano, I'm supposed to think you are supposed to lead a team of 53 men to battle on Sunday. Dude, I wouldn't trust you to lead a 53 men on a Pee-wee football team. I wouldn't trust you to lead a team of men to play hide and go seek, dude. You suck, man. You suck at your own press conference, dude. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw what I saw, but this dude, we got Jalen Hurts and Carson Wentz, and we think those guys are pretty good. Like, dude, where's the stuttering speech coach up in here? Man, Eagles, I have no idea what you're doing, but you guys have sold your soul to Carson Wentz, and I think you are going to take your entire franchise down with it. I mean, this team is committing really team suicide with this hire, man. You know what? I'm gonna say that reference for another team. But Eagles, complete joke, complete failure. I have no idea. And the big thing is Carson Wentz still not happy. He still didn't endorse this guy. He still said he's not completely sold. So good luck, Eagles, in that mess you're trying to do. You went from Doug Peterson, who was probably your Super Bowl winning coach, to a completely unstable, laughable situation. Good luck, Eagles fans. Good luck, Philadelphia, because boy, we're gonna have some stories to tell in the next few years.
Thomas Hope said the Rooney Rule has been useless. They might as well bring him in for an interview just to say they had a minority candidate. Coach, your thoughts on the Philadelphia Eagles hiring?
We ready. We ready.
I didn't know Coach Wi-Fi messed up, or he actually sounded like the Eagles coach.
Get ready for Wentz. Wentz can throw. He can throw. We got running backs. Yeah, we got running backs. We good. We can win East. Yeah, East. We not least. We East. We gonna be all right. That man should have stepped out that stage right now and started that whole press conference over with and tried to get his thoughts together before he came. Should have got cue cards or notes or something. And the one person who did the right thing for Philadelphia in this whole situation, I'm going to end it on this, Deuce Staley. He did right for quitting. I would have quit too. Yep. And that's the end.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you guys. The new coach's press conference had a lot to be desired. Definitely, I believe somebody hit it right on the nail when they said the Eagles hired someone. Joe Black said it. The Eagles hired someone that they can control, and this truly is what they were desirous of, because obviously Doug Peterson, once he won the Super Bowl, he was not trying to hear what they had to say. And the reality is they got the yes man that they wanted. Timothy Sagos, y'all are right on point. And Chris Traylor sound like a heavyweight champion Harlem Nights. That's good. So here's the reality, though. I tried to tell y'all that. I tried to tell y'all this. Doug Peterson had to go because the Eagles invested too much money in Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz, this is his contract that he just signed last year. His 4 years, $128 million. Of that $128 million, $107,970,683, that's guaranteed. So they had to get rid of Doug Peterson in order to make good on the investment that they made in Carson Wentz. Should they have made the investment in Carson Wentz? Probably not, but they made it, so now they have to lie in bed with that investment. Yes. And it's easy to get rid of Doug Peterson, who you're not even paying $10 million a year, than it is to get rid of Carson Wentz, who you're averaging each year paying $32 million. So they had to find a coach that was willing to work with Carson Wentz, because Jalen Hurts will be the backup. Unless Carson Wentz gets hurt, Jalen Hurts will be the backup next year. Guaranteed. Because they have to get the most out of their investment. And this is probably why the Eagles hired who they did. Because there were probably a lot of coaches that were not willing to put their coaching fate in the hands of Carson Wentz, who has gone downhill since he had that injury. The year he would have won the MVP had he not got hurt, the year that the Eagles wound up winning the Super Bowl. So they had to find somebody, and I'm sure one of the prerequisites to get hired for the Eagles job, are you willing to commit to Carson Wentz being the starting quarterback? You all saw the press conference. Did you all see how he stumbled when the reporter asked, will there be a QP competition? You see, he was non-committal to that because he knows he's been hired to coach up Carson Wentz so that they can get the most out of their investment.
Let's This guy would commit to Sugar Avery's bad water. What thing is he not gonna commit to, man? I mean, he gonna commit to anything. He ain't nothing but a puppet. Jeff Lurie might as well stick his hand right up his backside and just make him talk. That's all he is, a puppet.
I agree.
Rev,
Yes, sir.
Thomas quoted you back a few pages, rolls up. Thomas Holcomb quoted you. Not that one. Going back some more.
From when? From his no help. That's he took that off of scripture right there. That's what. Because the scripture is, my help cometh from the Lord, who made heaven and earth, and times from whence cometh no help. That's clever, boy. Thomas, man, we're gonna have to start framing your comments, because we gotta make a book of your comments, man. You've had some doozies in on this show. All right, everybody's out on the Eagles hire. Hey, man, y'all are just killing. Y'all are killing this coach. Reading green eggs and ham. I can't coach here. I can't coach. I can't coach anywhere. Their investment loyalty should have been to the coach. Can't do it, brother. Can't do it, Timothy. They invested too much money in Wentz. Coach is expendable. $100+ million guaranteed is not. That's just how it goes. And I told Armani that when he was saying that they were going to keep Doug Peterson, Wentz was going to go. I tried to tell him. And he finally came and saw the light that Rev knew what he was talking about in that area. Eventually, if not already, they're going to lose that team. This is going to be interesting. Whitson's awful hurts, my brother. Continue to learn the game and get the HE doubles hockey sticks out of there in 3 years. All right. Yeah.
Look, to piggyback on what Coach said earlier, you know how bad it is in Philly when Deuce Staley quits Philadelphia to join the Lions coaching staff. That's how bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, he went to go join Kneecap Dan Campbell. The guy said they're going to be Kneecap. And that's how you know how bad it is in Philly. So good luck to you over there, Deuce. Hopefully Dan Campbell will suck so bad that the Lions will give you a chance, but it'll probably be the interim coach just until they hire another coach. But Deuce Staley, good luck to you, brother.
My mother would love this comment, Thomas. There was a group at my dad's church called Wheat Street Baptist Church. That's where I know Thomas from. We grew up together as adolescents and teenagers at Wheat Street. There was a group called the Chanters, and we used to chant scriptures every second and fourth Sunday. And one of the psalms that we would chant would be Psalm 121, where Thomas made that reference from. So I'm seeing that the Chanters did serve you well. I'm going to tell Miss Deborah Jones that the next time I talk to her. Thomas is showing off what he learned as a kid at Wheat Street Baptist Church. Yeah, Armani said, yeah, Rev, but my thing is, if the guy you hired, they should have just kept Doug. At least Doug got public speaking skills. Yeah, Doug got public speaking skills. Doug has a championship. But what Doug didn't want to do was ride out with Carson Wentz. And that's why he got fired. That's why they couldn't come together. You can't go with a coach who does not want to start the guy who has the most money on the books on the team. Just can't happen. All right, let's move on real quickly. Let's go to the Houston Texans hiring. And this is where a lot of talk is going to come. David Culley.
One joke of a team to the next, another joke.
From the press conference on yesterday, we see that the new general manager, who happens to be black, and the new coach, they are very optimistic about having Deshaun Watson in the fold. So first, let's talk about the hire. Then second, does that move the needle for Deshaun Watson remaining a Houston Texan? Coach, since your Wi-Fi is going well right now, we'll start with you first.
Yeah, we get Coach's take on the table.
While we can, brother. So first, your thought on David Culley being hired as a Texan coach, and then will that move the needle to want Deshaun Watson to remain in Houston after the press conference? Go with it, Coach.
The question is, Wasn't Dave Tully or Cully or whatever his name? Wasn't he the poster boy for Where's Waldo? Who is this guy? And who knows who he is? Nobody knows. And you bring him in to take over an organization that's clearly looking for a face, someone to help get them over the top after the debacle that they had. So who is this dude and what can he do to help them? Absolutely nothing. The people are leaving left and right. So I don't see this being good at all for any parts of the Houston Texans, and the fans gonna start leaving, and they'll remain mediocre and picking in the top 10 in the draft.
All right, Red.
What's up?
Your thoughts on the hire? Will that move the needle for Deshaun Watson wanting to stay?
Okay, well, that's a two-part question. Let's start with the first part. My thoughts on the hire? Well, my mom always said, if you can't say nothing nice, don't say nothing at all. This is my thoughts on the hire.
Now, you haven't.
No,
Now, let me just say this. I've been following you on Facebook well before we started the show. And it's clear you haven't listened to your mother in a lot of times on other subjects. But now you're choosing to listen to your mom. I got you.
Okay, but seriously though, this guy was a joke, Rev. I mean, we both know that this guy was a token guy. You pulled the only black guy in America that will probably come coach this team after years and years of messing up, after years and years and years of being a racial. We do what we want to do. We're in charge. You the players. We tell you what to do.
Hold on, Red. Hold on. Now the coach is white. The GM is black.
Oh,
David Culley is white.
I thought David Cutler was black.
No.
Yeah, I told you. Where's Waldo?
No.
Nick Casario is black?
No. None of them black. Nick Sirianni? No, he's not black.
No. I'm talking about the GM for the Texans.
Yeah, the GM is black.
I thought that guy was a white guy.
No.
Oh man, you guys killed my little momentum with this. I got two guys mixed up. Okay. What did I say? Did I say the coach was black?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, the guy who they hired is a complete joke. You didn't hire a black head coach. Well, of course you definitely know why. Okay. Bottom line, is it gonna move the needle on Watson? David Culley, Nick Casario, or any one of them gonna move the needle on Watson? Wait a minute. Now somebody's saying Culley is black. No, hold on, Vincent, now. Because I've been seeing reports on the news, people. So either the ESPN been putting the wrong picture with the right name, or somebody don't make a mistake. Joseph Culley just said that the coach is black. Rev, are you absolutely sure on this?
Let me just say this: he's mixed. How about that? Let's just go.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I know that. I heard that part. I knew he was biracial.
So we'll go. He's black. My bad. That's my bad. I mean, my bad. He's black. Go with it.
Now, what about Nick Casario?
The GM?
The GM. Is he black? Nick Casario is white, right? The GM is white from New England. That's right. Rev, I had it right. You threw me off, man.
Well, my bad.
Okay.
I'll silence myself for the rest of the segment. Go.
No, you good. I just thought maybe you did hear something I didn't hear. So I wanted to make sure we get all the points right. All right. Nick Casario is white. Thank you, coach. And David Culley is biracial. Thank you, coach. Exactly. But the one drop rule, they consider him a black guy. Bottom line, none of this is going to move the needle on Deshaun Watson. Okay? You could have hired a brother who was so black when he got out the Carter oil light come on. You could have hired a coach that black, and it still wouldn't have moved the needle on Deshaun Watson. Okay? He has made up his mind. He made up his mind weeks ago. Okay? Now, possibly the only guy that you could have possibly hired that could have made Deshaun Watson even think about reconsidering his stand is maybe Tony Dungy. Tony Dungy ain't coming out of retirement. I'm sorry. Houston, you blew it, okay? You blew it! Like De Niro and Copland. You blew it, okay? You blew it with your GM hire. You blew it with your coaching search. And you blew it with one of the top 3 franchise QBs in today's game. So, bottom line, Deshaun Watson will be playing for another team next year. Nick Caserio and Coach Cully, you can talk all that delusion you want to about Deshaun Watson is the face of the organization. I plan on Deshaun Watson being here, yada, 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 mumble, mumble, mumble. But we all know that you just saying what you got to say to keep things even keel right now. But if you ain't out there talking to every team who's calling you for a possible trade, you guys are proving what everybody is thinking about you, that you are the dumbest, absolute dumbest franchise in maybe all the sports. But you ain't fooling me. I know you taking trade calls, because if you don't, you a fool. Deshaun Watson will never, never play for you guys again. Never say never, never, ever, never, ever, never play for the Houston Texans again.
Let me ask you this question, Red, since you have taken a very definitive stance that Deshaun Watson will never play again. What leverage does Deshaun have?
Well, first of all, he has a no trade contract in his contracts. I mean, they can't just send him wherever he want to. And the leverage he has, that he's a brother who's content with his financial situation right now, and he has money in the bank. And if he's willing to, I think he'll do whatever he has to do. He'll stand strong by his word. He's getting the proper advice from his agent and brothers like Andre Johnson, whose opinion I'm sure he values very well. And Andre Johnson definitely told him to stand by his word. And I think he's going to listen. And Deshaun Watson is one of the top 3 quarterbacks in this league. If he don't want to play for you no more, he don't want to play for you no more. You can't force him, Houston. You're not going to. Hello?
I get that, but I'm going to talk about leverage. If he sits out, he gets fined. If he sits out too long, his QB skills begin to erode.
That is not going to happen, Rev. The Houston Texans are not going to let this thing string on that long. Not you think they're going to play the game that the Pittsburgh Steelers played with Le'Veon Bell? Absolutely not. This team is already going through it right now. They already have a bad reputation. If you don't give Deshaun Watson what he wants, okay, this team reputation will be ruined forever. I mean, they will commit NFL suicide. You might as well put them in a back seat with Thelma and Louise and let them drive right off the Grand Canyon, because that's where they're going to be, going downhill and downhill fast. They'll be committing suicide if they try to play hardball with Deshaun Watson. They're already doing it now, but let them try to play hardball and see what happens. They'll never get another free agent. Nobody will ever endorse this franchise again. Deshaun Watson is looked at as a respectable, good guy in the NFL. And the Houston Texans are looked at as a joke, a racist organization that has no respect for a lot of black players and no respect for some of their own top players in their own organization. No way the Houston Texans try to play hardball throughout the season. No way, Rev. If they
I totally disagree, because this is unprecedented. Remember, this is not the NBA, this is the NFL. In the NBA, it's a player-driven league. They dictate where they want to go. That's not what goes on in the NFL. The Houston Texans may be the team, because of all the stuff that you stated, being racist and all of that stuff. They may be the team who will make an example out of Deshaun Watson, because they do not have a legacy of winning championships. They are not the Cowboys. They are not the Steelers. They're not the Patriots, so forth and so on. So they are the type of franchise that might be willing to say, we're going to nip this in the bud right now, so other players who are not on the Texans but may be superstars will not get the bright idea to believe that they are going to dictate what happens in this league like the NBA players do in the NBA. So therefore, don't be surprised if the Houston Texans are willing to play hardball. Would it make sense for their franchise? No. But would they be willing to do it? There's a possibility, because somebody, and remember, the NFL owners are not like the NBA owners. The NBA owners know their gravy train is primarily based upon the players. In the NFL, the show goes on without the players, because they'll get somebody to replace them. Deshaun Watson is hot stuff right now. Will he be hot stuff 5 years from now? We don't know. Cam Newton was hot stuff 5 years ago. Is he hot stuff now? No, he's not. The only QB outside of injury that we truly believe will remain hot stuff is Patrick Mahomes. If he were Patrick Mahomes, that's one thing. But he ain't Deshaun Watson is good, but he ain't Patrick Mahomes. Now, if we were talking about Patrick Mahomes, that's a whole nother ballgame. But these NFL owners and the one in Texas, who is a racist, you think he's cool with some black kid who he's paying, making demands on him? Let's think about that. And you don't think Jerry Jones behind closed doors, who's the owner of the other Texas team, who many of us believe he's racist too, you don't think he's in the ear of that owner in Texas? You don't think behind closed doors other owners like Robert Kraft aren't in that man's ears? Because it was very telling that both the GM and the coach, and y'all forgive me for saying color's not black, I do believe in the one drop rule, and just by looking at a picture, he didn't look black to me. So I'm not debating he's not black because he's biracial. That's not my argument. I thought he was white from the pictures I saw, but he's biracial. That means he's black. So I want everybody to be clear. That's where I stand on that. But anyway, they were very intentional, both GM and coach, saying that he is part of their future. I don't think they were just saying it just for press conference circumstance. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens, but we'll see. All right, Dante said, Rev, that may be true, but the flip side is Deshaun Watson could be the one to change. He can't change all of that if the owner doesn't allow him to change. That's the key. Because here's the thing. How long is Deshaun Watson willing not to get paid? Mind you, Deshaun Watson just started making that big money. Did you hear what I'm saying? He ain't been making 20, 30 million for his entire career. He just started making that kind of money. So is he willing to sit out where he had not made 30 million per year? Do you think he's willing to sit out that long? Red, I'm asking you the one question. You think he's willing to sit out and not make that money that he just signed for?
Rev, I told you once again, I don't think it's gonna drag on that long. I think they're gonna make a deal. I wouldn't be surprised if they had this deal done by draft time. Now, if we go past draft time, we get into what they call that mini camp, close to training camp beginning, and they still haven't made a move on Watson. Okay, we may have to revisit this, and then you might have to ask me again. Red, you think the Houston's are playing hardball, or you think how you think it's gonna play out with the Houston playing hardball? But I fully anticipate Watson will have a new team by or before draft NFL draft night, and no later than the draft is concluded, Deshaun Watson will be on a new team. Now, if it goes further than that, like I said, we might have to revisit this. But for right now, I don't think it's going to drag out that long, Real. I really don't.
Now, Tyron Stewart, he's a guy who just said, I've had some talks with people in league circles. There are teams who do not want to see this door open and privately are encouraging the Texans not to budge. Just what I just talked about right there. Now, let me ask you a question. Red.
I'm listening.
With Deshaun Watson and whoever they get in the draft, does that make the Texans a Super Bowl contender?
You said with Watson and whoever they get in the draft?
With Watson right now and whoever they draft, does that make the Texans a Super Bowl contender?
Well, the Texans don't have a first or second round draft pick, so whoever they drafting, they'll be drafting them on the second or third day of drafting, which by then half the teams in the NFL would have improved themselves by then. So I don't think the Texans are a Super Bowl contender with or without Deshaun Watson. They not a Super Bowl contender with him. That's why he wants out. And they definitely ain't a Super Bowl contender without him. They ain't nothing without him. They ain't too much with him. But he don't want to be there. So they're going to have to get rid of him. Or they're
That's
going to be
my point. They don't mind being the sacrificial lamb if they're not a contender.
Well, we don't know that. They just got new management this year. We'll see if they don't mind. If you don't move them,
we all talking about ifs. You talking about him being traded is an if. So we all talking in speculative talks.
Well, what I'm saying is the new GM just got there. So yeah, if you tell me
if the new GM just said Deshaun Watson is part of their vision, that's what he said.
Yeah, I know, but I feel like he was just talking just right. I mean, that is his first press conference since Deshaun Watson requested the trade.
But the only thing we can sink our teeth in is what this man said, not what we speculate.
Oh, I don't believe him. I think
all right, now we could definitely not believe what he said, but that's what he said. That's the only factual thing we've heard. So they may be willing to play hardball because going back to the question I asked you, they have nothing to lose at the end of the day if they are willing to be the team that will be the sacrificial lamb to stop this foolishness in their eyes from letting players dictate what they do. They may be willing to do it. Is it in their best interest? It makes sense to me that they would trade Deshaun Watson and do it before the draft because they would be able to get as many draft picks. But we are talking about the Houston Texans, who also made questionable moves, letting Bill O'Brien be their GM at one point in time when he had not accomplished anything. So let's remember what franchise we're talking about. We are not talking about a rational ownership. We're talking about the Houston Texans, who don't do anything rationally. So therefore, they may not care and say, we'll take the hit just to prove a point. So don't be surprised about that. Am I more inclined to believe what you're saying? Yes, I am. While at the same time, I do believe we are in this racially charged moment. And a lot of these white owners, they're not happy with the trajectory if Deshaun Watson sets precedent. You think these white owners are cool with the next big time black player telling them they don't want to be somewhere? You think they want to create that environment in the NFL like it's already in NBA? And we know that the NBA owners don't like it, but they can't do nothing about it because it's a player-driven league.
Well, NFL owners might not be able to do that too because when most of your players are black and most of your and you got to have good players to generate a lot of fan interest, it might get to the point where they might not have no choice. I mean, look at the top few players in the league right now. Pat Mahomes, who's a half black quarterback. You got Deshaun Watson, who's a black quarterback. You got I'm saying you got most of the players at the top of the league are African American players, and when you got a player like Deshaun Watson who feels like he has some leverage, I mean, like I say, this is unprecedented. Now we ain't really had too many players come up to this point to be 25 years old, have a little financial stability, and can possibly dictate where he goes. You know, it's not and is proven to where most people think he's one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL today. If not Mahomes, you'll definitely take Watson. I mean, you got the Bears getting killed because they bypassed on both of the guys. So, like I say, I understand what you're saying, Rev, about the NFL not wanting to let the players run the asylum. And this wouldn't be all the players. Not like you're going to have, look, a lot of players are not going to be in Deshaun Watson's position, okay? Most players in the NFL, really over half the players in the NFL are never going to be in his position. But for the few players that are in this position that can make a stand and possibly help players' situations for the future, hey, Deshaun Watson might be one of those guys. I'm on his side 100%.
Coach, chime in. You've been doing something else. I don't know what you've been doing, but you've been listening, I would
Coach,
imagine.
you agree with me, don't you? You know Deshaun Watson
Go
is
ahead.
unprecedented. He about to be with one player who can make things change.
Go ahead,
Right,
Coach.
Coach?
Your thoughts before we move on.
Why is Deshaun Watson? I go back to the moment when J.J. Watt told him, "Hey man, we sorry for this job we did." If somebody tells you that should just scare you right there to saying, "Why am I with this team? What are they surrounding him with? What talent do they have him with? Hardly nothing. It's eroding. They trading players. They letting players go. Maybe a new organization can, but I don't know if he wants to stay around and see the rebuilding of the Texans.
They're
Just to be
already
honest.
rebuilding, aren't they?
Yeah, but what are they rebuilding with?
Right,
On
but
the field.
I'm saying that they were going to have to rebuild anyway. So it's not like if they kept the old regime, they weren't rebuilding. They got a new regime they're rebuilding.
Yeah, but Rev, you missing the point with Deshaun. Well, okay, you're right. They are rebuilding already with Deshaun, but you are rebuilding with hardly no draft picks, no salary cap space, a lot of bad moves based on bad moves. You trade Deshaun Watson, now you're rebuilding with possibly 2 or 3 years worth of good draft picks, and you can possibly rebuild a lot faster. I mean, they can be stubborn all they want to, but trading Deshaun Watson might be the best thing for this team.
But what you're missing out is Deshaun Watson. If we consider him a superstar, he's a draw. Houston Texans has a demographic that is somewhat similar to Atlanta, a black demographic. You're not going to be so quick to move the face of your team that resembles a nice segment and population of your city away from that team. That's something that you have to consider. So you could be terrible, but if Deshaun Watson is still a superstar and some people still believe he's must-see TV, they may still want to come see him.
Real side note, did you see, I don't know if y'all saw this, did you see the trade they proposed for the New York Giants? Did you see that trade?
No, I didn't.
They were going to offer, somebody said the Giants were going to offer Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, and 3 draft picks for Deshaun Watson and a draft pick. I'm wondering, are they serious?
Say that one more time.
Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, and 3 draft picks for Deshaun Watson and another draft pick.
If I were the Giants, I'd make that move tomorrow.
I mean, really?
No. If I were the Texans, I'm sorry.
Texans, yeah.
I'll make that move tomorrow.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean.
That's what I'm saying, Rev. The Texans.
I would, but again, I don't know if the Texans would be willing to do it. But also, they probably would not make that deal because we don't know how Saquon Barkley would bounce back from his season-ending injury.
Yeah, but that's like I say, that's not gonna be the only offer they receive of that caliber. They're gonna receive similar offers from a lot of teams. I mean, you're gonna at least be offered 2 or 3 first-round draft picks. You're gonna be offered a good player too. Look, a lot of these teams, Rev, they are right now trying to come up with offers that the Texans cannot refuse. Now I know you ain't seen The Godfather yet, but they're about to make the Texans an offer. These teams about to make the Texans an offer that they cannot refuse. The Texans, like I say, Nick and Coach, you can talk that big talk if you want to, but you are not going to bypass some of these deals that these teams are offering when you got the possibility of 2, 3 first-round draft picks when you don't have any. You don't have any draft capital right now. So you talk big, Nick. You can be a puppet all you want to, little Davey, but trust me, the right offer is gonna come through, and when it does, Deshaun Watson will be saying goodbye to the Texans. And Jerry Jones, you need to worry about your own team, buddy, because you about to have another black quarterback try to take you through the ringer yourself. So
all right, let's entertain Derek Jones's question. If by chance the Houston Texans say we're going to play hardball, if he's not playing, how does that help Watson's value for teams to trade for him?
Well, I see what you're saying, but like I say, I don't think it's gonna get that far, but I don't think we're gonna go into the season with regular season games being missed by Deshaun Watson. Texas, the Texas would have to be. I mean, I know they're a fool now, but you gotta be a plumb idiot to try and play hardball now when your reputation is pretty much it's destroyed already. The only way you can improve it is to become better as a team by making smart, intelligent moves. The first move starts with trading my unhappy franchise quarterback. Now, look, Nick, we're not blaming you, but it's not your fault that Deshaun Watson is unhappy. It's not Dave Culley's fault that Deshaun Watson is unhappy. It's basically Bill O'Brien, that guy who we haven't heard speak, Jack Weatherly. It's the guy that's behind the scenes. He has some kind of power in the Houston organization, and it's the owners. So really, the two guys that's talking right now, they're not the reason that Deshaun Watson want to lead the organization. But look, they're gonna have to suffer because he's not gonna be playing up under them because of what happened with the previous regime. So look, you guys are gonna get all the offers in the world. So stop being stubborn, stop acting foolish, stop being delusional, and you better take up one of these teams on these offers because I'm telling you, San Francisco, Miami, the Jets, one of these teams with a quarterback, it might be Chicago. One of these teams are gonna give you an offer you can't refuse, and you are gonna take it. So stop being dumb and acting like we all don't know that Deshaun Watson will be playing for another team next year. It's not. I'm telling you, Red, it's not gonna go past the draft. This thing is gonna be done by the draft.
We'll see. And the thing is, like the point that you're making, the overarching point is, the Texans have a lot of leverage because they have a lot of teams who want Deshaun Watson. So the deal is going to be even sweeter. So it makes sense for them to take a deal. I get it. And on the other side, they may play hardball. Time will tell. Time will tell, and we'll see. All right, let's switch gears real quickly because I want to get into these two other topics that we have. We're not going to recap the NFC and AFC. We know what happened. The Bills got outdued by the defending champions, and Tom Brady and Bucks went into Lambeau Field, beat Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers had a couple opportunities where the defense stood up, got 2 picks off Tom Brady, but he could not deliver, and therefore the Bucks, being the wild card team, won 3 road games, one of them inclusive, going into Lambeau Field, defeats Aaron Rodgers, and now they play the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. With that summation, let's go to 2 topics real quickly. The first topic, with the loss of Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers losing a home game, being the favorite, only winning 1 championship, being, I believe now, 1-3 or 1-4 in conference championships game. What is the legacy of Aaron Rodgers right now? What is the legacy of Aaron Rodgers? Since Red and I took up a lot of time in the last segment, Coach, you start. What is the legacy of Aaron Rodgers?
I don't think he's diminished. Okay, he's 1-4. Does LeBron James get legacy get diminished because he's 3-6? No. I mean, first of all, that game with Aaron Rodgers, yeah, they're going to put blame on him. But I just say I have 2 words for that game. Keith King. That's all you need to know, Keith King. And for all you don't know who Keith King is, he gave up 3 touchdowns, including that one at the end of the first half, which really sealed the fate for the Green Bay Packers. He got burnt on the first touchdown. He got burnt on that one. Then when Leonard Fournette scored, he rolled on Keith King back to score a touchdown. Keith King. I don't understand. I mean, I still think Aaron Rodgers is a bad man. And if they trade him or get rid of Aaron Rodgers to get ready for the Jordan Love era, they would be crazy.
All right, Red, jump in. What's the legacy of Aaron Rodgers as of right now?
Coach, maybe you thinking of B.B. King, one of his illegitimate sons, but Keith King doesn't play for the Packers. It's Kevin King, Coach.
Kevin Keith, that don't matter. It don't matter. He still was the king of losing.
Yeah,
he was the king of losing.
you just kept putting emphasis on Keith.
Well, we know what he was talking about. He was the
I know.
So what's your thoughts about the legacy of Aaron Rodgers?
Uh, so it's taking a little hit to me, in my honest opinion. I mean, like I say, he's still gonna be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I mean, Brett Favre was a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's gonna be a first ballot Hall of Famer. But I mean, you want to put him up on these GOAT statuses, but if his career, say like if he stopped playing today, he would only play in one Super Bowl. That's not. I mean, dude, when you got most of the greats have played in multiple Super Bowls. I mean, even Kurt Warner made the 3 Super Bowls, won one, but at least he made it, the 3 of them. Peyton Manning played in 4. Tom Brady played in 10. Troy Aikman 3. Brett Favre 2. Aaron Rodgers, you still with 1. But the only thing that's just saving him right now is these 3 NFL MVPs that he about to win. And technically, I think didn't Brett Favre win 3 NFL MVPs? So technically, his career is on the trajectory of his predecessor, Brett Favre, with the exception is Brett Favre made 1 more Super Bowl than Aaron did. So, look, he'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer. But if you thought about putting him up there with the Bradys and the Mannings and the Aikmans and even Kurt Warners, no, not so fast. Not so fast, Ski. You got to at least make it to 1 or 2 more Super Bowls. And at your age, with your career winding down, it's not a given that you might even make it back there again. So, like you say, you 1-4 in NFC Championship games. You seem to have your less enthusiastic moments in those games. So, right now, it's taking a minor hit, Rev. His legacy taking a minor hit, but he'll still end up with a yellow jacket. He'll still be a first ballot Hall of Famer. But I'm not going to be putting him up there with those top echelon of all-time great quarterbacks. Not after he failed to get his team to the Super Bowl again, having the number 1 seed again, winning the MVP again, and you failing to go to the Super Bowl again. Sorry, Skeet. Can't ride with you on this one, but
I think his legacy took a hit because of the game that he lost and who happened to be on the other team when he lost his game.
Yeah.
If Tom Brady were not on the other side, I would agree with Coach. But because he lost at home in a conference championship game to a 43-year-old quarterback who some say that he's better than, and in their minds had a chance to prove it, had opportunities when the defense stood up. Some people talking about Aaron Rodgers didn't have a defense, which is true for many of his career, but his defense picked off Tom Brady 3 times, twice in the second half. They did not do anything with those 2 possessions, and he lost. I was one of the guys, talent-wise, who always put Aaron Rodgers above Tom Brady. But when I saw what Tom Brady did, even though the defense of the Bucs played a heck of a game, Aaron Rodgers did not lead his team when they needed to be led at critical times. And the bottom line is he lost a game that he should not have lost. Just like I'll give you the equivalent. This never happened. But we know that there is debate when it comes to basketball about if LeBron is better than Kobe or Kobe's better than LeBron. If they had met head-to-head in the NBA championship, and whichever player's team would have won that series, everybody would have said that team or that player is better than the other because they beat them in the NBA championship, regardless of how many other championships the other have won, regardless. That's the magnitude of the loss of Aaron Rodgers. Because he lost to a 43-year-old starting quarterback, he will no longer be on that pantheon of QBs like Red talked about Manning, Brady. And I know somebody mentioned Dan Marino, but Dan Marino's not in the same conversation with
right.
Right.
I didn't
That's my point. That's my point. Dan Marino's considered great, but he's not on the pantheon. Whenever you talk about the GOAT QBs, you hear about Joe Montana and Tom Brady. That's about where the conversation ends.
Terry Bradshaw.
Who? Oh, yeah.
I just play.
Yeah. But that's where it starts and ends, right? So Aaron Rodgers just lost the game, the worst game. Now, Coach, you talked about LeBron being 3-6. There's a context to it because a lot of those 3-6 came because his team was inferior. They didn't have a chance. Aaron Rodgers in this game, they were the favorite. They are at home.
Yeah. Home game he always cried about having, and he got it.
So it does have an effect, Derrick Jones. You can't lose to Tom Brady at 43 and be considered one of on that Mount Rushmore quarterbacks.
At home, Derrick.
At home. You can't. Period. You know, no matter how much you want to fudge it, everybody, if you look at all of the sports commentators, Stephen Smith was a Aaron Rodgers guy and would debate Skip Bayless to death when they both were on First Take. Shannon Sharp, Aaron Rodgers guy. All of them have taken a step back because of this one loss when Aaron Rodgers had everything in place. The defense stood tall. He had everything in place to show what he was about, and he dropped the ball.
And Rev, I'm gonna give you another one equivalent for a sport that you love. I'm gonna give you the basketball equivalent to this. Now, we all know Steph Curry is one of the great players of all time, but when we look back on the top echelon of players, if Steph Curry not included in there, we'll all know why. Dude, you had a 7-3 win team and you lost game 7 at your house. That's why if people ever take shots at you, Steph, that's where they're coming from. You had 3 chances, 3-1. You lost a 3-1 record with a 73 win team and had a game 7 at your house and lost. And I think that's part of the reason why he ain't been given, when Durant won, they gave him the NBA Finals MVP. Even in the final series where Steph had an okay statistical series, they always gave it to Durant. And I think that's probably still going back to that 2016 finals that he lost to LeBron. That, to me, I think that took a sting in his career, just a slight bit. Because, come on, dude, at home, 73 win team, you were up 3-1 and you lose, just like you can't Aaron Rodgers, 15-1 record in 2011. Remember the year right after they won the Super Bowl, they went 15-1, got bounced out by Eli. Now, this year again, top record in NFC again. And you got everything you've been wanting, a home record in Lambeau Field. Bounced out again, dude. You know, man, bounced out on your home record, home field a few times, man. You got it. Your record since you won that Super Bowl, your playoff record is under 500. Sorry, Skeet. You got to take these hits, buddy. You're going to still get the gold jacket.
Before you jump in, Coach, I'm coming right to you. Let's just remember the only NFC championship game that Aaron Rodgers credited winning is the Bears, and that was when Jay Cutler was hurt.
Caleb Haney. Where's Caleb Haney now?
Right. So that doesn't help out when your resume is beating this guy from the Chicago Bears who's a backup. Now, Coach, you wanted to jump in, and then I'm gonna address some of the comments. Go ahead, Coach.
He was saying about Steph Curry. Steph Curry ain't even a top 10 player of all time, so he ain't gonna be included in it. He's a top shooter. He ain't no top 10 player. But not saying that game with Aaron Rodgers, again, the only reason, well, not the only reason, but one of the main reasons he got the blame is because of, number one, that drive where he didn't score, and number two, they gave you a chance to score and you didn't. If you are considering yourself, and you all have said, if you consider yourself a great, you take advantage of situations like that, of those 3 interceptions. Not once did they score, and that doomed them, even though Mr. King doomed them anyway, but still, Aaron kind of, like you said, he took a step back. He's a Hall of Famer, but this is a game you got to win if you want to improve your legacy to be where it is. You had to win that game, and you lost it close when you should have blown them out with all those interceptions.
Yeah,
it's what it was.
Tyron Stewart, you made a comment about Bucks needed O-line help, all the additions that the Bucks made, And then the Packers showed no love for helping their quarterback. But even with all the additions the Bucs made, the Packers were still favored to win the game. Even though they did not add a whole lot, they were still, on paper, the better team. So that doesn't matter if they just got love. They were still the favorite. And they should have still won the game.
Yeah.
And they didn't. With all the additions the Bucs made, the Packers were still the better team. And they lost. So it is what it is. I agree with Vincent. The sculptors put it down. Aaron Rodgers wins this game, Super Bowl. He's up there on Mount Rushmore quarterbacks. Or he's at least in the conversation. No doubt.
Yeah. I can't put him in there.
Yeah.
Who is the Mount Rushmore?
Huh?
Who is the Mount Rushmore? Four guys.
Montana, Brady, kind of stop right there, man. Even though you're supposed to have four.
Peyton Manning.
Yeah, he got two. Peyton Manning got to be up there, even though that second one was suspect.
Terry Bradshaw.
Bradshaw was carried by the steel curtain. Yeah. All right, man.
Red might made that last spot probably gonna have to go to Mahomes.
Yeah, it's waiting on Mahomes. It's waiting on Mahomes. All he got to do is win about 2 more Super Bowls. Just sign, seal, and deliver. So we'll see. All right, we got the people that are helping us out. Montana, Brady Manning. Montana, Brady Manning.
Elway.
Right, hey, right now, coach, just until Mahomes take Elway's spot, but I give it to Elway.
Please. If it wasn't for what's the running back? Davis.
Terrence Davis.
If it wasn't for Davis, Elway wouldn't have won nothing.
Yeah. But he did go to 3 Super Bowls without Terrell Davis.
All right, so let me just ask this question this way as we get ready to close out the show, because I didn't know that Deshaun Watson was going to take that long. Is it unanimous?
Me, Rev, instead of agreeing with me.
No, I can't do that. I gotta challenge you just to offer another perspective. Let me go on record. I think what you said the Texans should do is going to happen, but don't be surprised if they don't. And I was just giving the other side. All right.
Hey, if they play hardball, that's gonna be some interesting drama right there.
We'll see
that again.
Let me ask the question. Here's the question: Is it unanimous? Is Tom Brady the GOAT?
He will be out the next Sunday.
So who's the GOAT now then?
Montana.
I don't know about that one.
No, I just it to me they both up there, because either you're gonna have arguments for both guys. I think this is gonna be one of those Jordan, LeBron type arguments, because you're gonna have the folks that say Montana never lost a Super Bowl. Those are gonna be the Jordan fans, and then you're gonna have the Brady, LeBron fans. Well, he lost some, but look how many he played in, though. So you playing in a lot of them, you're going to lose a few of them. I mean, Magic Johnson played in 9 NBA Finals. He lost 4 of them. Peyton Manning played in 4 Super Bowls. He lost 2 of them. So, I mean, it's going to be a debate, Real. But me personally, I like Joe Montana. But after what Tom Brady did last week, I mean, this guy getting Tampa Bay Buccaneers to the Super Bowl. That's like the Kurt Warner taking the Arizona Cardinals to the Super Bowl. So it's definitely, I'll just go, he's one of the greats. I'm not going to say who a GOAT, but he's definitely going to be one of the greats. And if you had to ask me who's the top, it's going to be the Mount Rushmore to me would be Brady, Montana, Manning, and I'm going to reserve the last spot.
All right, Coach, is Brady the GOAT?
Reluctantly, yes. I mean, you can't argue what he did. It's just kind of hard to argue with a man who consistently gets there every year. And people will say, well, his defense helped. Defense helped everybody. Well, he did such and such. Well, he did this. Well, he did that. I mean, he gets there. So you got to go with Tom Brady. I'm reluctant because I'm not his biggest fan, but hey, he's the GOAT to me.
I gotta agree with Coach. And this is where I was a Montana guy. I despise Tom Brady, and I can get with who said it. real quickly. Derek Jones, I understand about the cheating years. That's why I can't stand the Patriots and Belichick and Brady was in with Spygate and any other gate, football gate, whatever. The reality is I can no longer in good conscience say that Montana is better. I've never gone with the undefeated record because Montana went to 4 Super Bowls in like 16 years. So that means he lost a lot more times that prevented him from going into the Super Bowl. So that's why that undefeated record stuff makes absolutely no sense. When folk try to say Jordan won 6-0, so that shuts it down. Well, Jordan out of 6 out of 15 years, that means 11 times he didn't come close. So how does that just shut down the argument? He lost more than he went. So that doesn't make any sense when you talk about undefeated Super Bowls or undefeated finals. That's not a good argument because if somebody went 10, 11 times, that means his team was more successful than the guy who went 6 times. So that's why I can't go with Montana. But this is where I had to look at it, and Red alluded to it. Tampa Bay Bucks. Brady goes from the AFC to the NFC. First season, his team didn't make the playoffs. They're in the Super Bowl. Montana went from NFC to AFC. Kansas City Chiefs never made the Super Bowl, but Tom Brady's team did. Both of them were old quarterbacks, but Tom Brady was able to propel his team to the Super Bowl. And we can say what we want to. Does anybody believe Mike Evans is the top wide receiver in the NFL? Is he the top? No. Is he amongst the top 10? Yeah. Maybe top 5. But he's not the top at his position. And
where Mike Evans come from, Red?
My point is, some might say that he has a loaded roster. That's my point.
Oh, okay.
So who couldn't take the Tampa Bay because they had AB and Mike Evans? That's the point I'm making. And it's not like he had the upper echelon players at their position that he's taken to the Super Bowl. That's the point I'm making.
Better ones than he had with the Patriots, though. Definitely.
Oh, no doubt about it. Yeah. And now we see that he had a huge hand in it. I think Bill Belichick and Tom Brady worked hand in hand at those Super Bowls. But he did something that Montana did not do. As much as I despise Tom Brady, and I despise him, I had to be objective. And the bottom line is, yeah, Tampa Bay's defense, it could be argued that they did just as much as Tom Brady. But when it counted, when they needed to seal the game, what did Tom Brady do?
Made
the clutch plays, and Aaron Rodgers didn't get a chance to touch the ball. And Tom Brady has done that time after time after time after time.
And Red, we knew when Brady got that ball that Rodgers wasn't getting that ball back. Come on, man, this guy, you knew he was going. The guy got to start off the game, got 3 of the toughest first downs to lead off the game going into the opening drive touchdown. You think he's not going to get them first downs to seal the game? It's Tom Brady. That's why Matt LaFleur was a fool for not going for it on 4th down. You don't go for it. So you think your defense going to stop Tom Brady after what coach say your defense led by Keith King have been cooking all day to him. Now you think they finna stop him when Brady got a chance to clinch the game? Oh no, it's the wrong time to be trying to stop Brady now. It's like when the Falcons lost in the Super Bowl. You picked the wrong time to try to stop Tom Brady now.
I don't have as much of a problem with the coach Matt LaFleur not going on 4th down. Reason being, I looked at those first 3 plays. They looked all out of whack. They had 1st and goal. They did absolutely nothing with those first 3 plays.
Whee!
So they have 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. So you're looking at 4 opportunities to stop the clock. After you did nothing on 3 plays, After Aaron Rodgers, some may argue that he didn't have a chance to run it in the end zone on 3rd and goal. Some people argue they do. We know that the picture been flying around social media with that big open space that he had to run. You know, it can be argued, could he run, could he not? The bottom line is there was nothing from those first 3 plays that suggests to me if they were going to be able to win this game that they were going to do it on 4th and goal. And mind you, they still would have had to get the 2-point conversion on top of it. So I think he gave his team more of an opportunity to cut the lead to 5, 4 timeouts, inclusive of the 2-minute warning, to have a chance to get the ball back. And you think your team would have stepped up? Because why wouldn't you think your team would possibly do it? They did pick off Tom Brady 3 times. So I can't really blame LaFleur. I think you can go either way. If you're 4 going on 4th and goal, you got Aaron Rodgers. I get that point. If you think they shouldn't have, I see that as well, because Aaron Rodgers and the offense didn't do anything on 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. 1st, 2nd, and 3rd goal. They didn't do anything.
You know, Rev, I actually agree with you. I just wish it had turned out better for him. I completely understood why he matter of fact, I even posted this. Yeah, and then folks just started killing the guy, but I posted that I agree with the field goal try because you still had 4 timeouts, you know. But Lord have mercy, the defense, the first play, they let Brady get 9 yards. And that's when I knew it was over with. I knew when that first play happened, when Tampa Bay got the ball and Brady hit 9 yards to Chris Godwin. I said, that's it. Game over with.
Keith King.
Yeah, it was on Kevin.
No.
It was on Mr. King. It was on Mr. King, coach. Yeah.
Now Tyron says that he disagreed because if they would not have gotten the ball into the end zone, the Bucs would have had it in Green Bay territory. But we've seen Tom Brady execute that as well over the years.
I don't care had it on the 1 yard line. Brady still would have got that first.
Brady still was gonna make plays. What happens is Brady's IQ is why he's the GOAT.
Thank you.
He's not the greatest talent with arm speed, but it's his IQ, and that's why he delivers in crunch time. And I hate saying this because I despise Tom Brady as a player. But time after time after time, situation after situation after situation, his IQ rises to the occasion.
To the occasion. What coaches always do, always point to. Coaches always love to do this. Point to the head.
Point to the head. The dude is the most cerebral quarterback, maybe outside of Peyton Manning, because Peyton Manning was his own offensive coordinator. But he's the most cerebral and clutch quarterback ever to do it. So, yeah, they could have stopped. They may have not gotten the touchdown, but you think Tom Brady would have been fazed by getting the ball at the 4-yard line? No, he still would have dialed it up because
he hit Chris Godwin on 9 yards on the first play. That would have been the same play. Look, man, this guy is go. That's why I didn't want to give him the ball back without trying to go for that 4th down. I don't know. That's why now that I think about it, I may have had to go for that 4th down. You giving this ball back to Tom Brady. We may not see it again.
And then you wouldn't have seen it again if you're going for it. If you're going for it, don't get it. You down 8, you lose by 8 because you ain't getting it back. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's a no-win situation.
Yeah, really. Because it's either Brady or go for it on 4th down. But either way, it's a losing battle, man. Because you're gonna get criticized no matter what. No matter what, you're gonna have to work out.
It was that touchdown at the end of the first half that killed the Packers. That was terrible. That was terrible.
That's why Mike Pettit got fired last night.
Yeah, that killed him right there because that changed the whole landscape of the game. And then that goes to the credit of Tom Brady. And if Tom Brady is not the Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback, they don't put Tampa Bay back on that field to go for it on 4th down.
No way. No way.
They punt the ball. But because of the Tom Brady factor, Bruce Arians said, I trust Tom. And they were looking for Tom to at least get him a chance to get a field goal. And the dude made the play and the throw on time to score the touchdown.
I mean, you playing a man defense and a man trying to go for the end zone. Terrible.
And that's on Green Bay. They should not be playing man-to-man defense in that situation. They should be zoning it, give up the field goal, but the touchdown is the last thing that they should be given.
And Coach, who was that again that they scored that touchdown on right before halftime?
Mr. King. Mr. King, of all the people, he got burnt. He was looking in the backfield the whole time, then trying to catch up to a white boy who said he faster than Tyreek Hill. I don't know where he got that from. He was then.
Keith King. That's what gave him that confidence, Coach. Keith King gave him that confidence.
Right. Say it again.
As we shift gears, Tyron Stewart, you're more than welcome to tell me more quarterbacks that are more cerebral than Tom Brady and have been as clutch as Tom Brady. Feel free to post that and let me know why Tom Brady is not the most cerebral, who's been the most clutch that we've ever seen. So feel free to let me know who's more cerebral and clutch on top of that than Tom Brady. All right, gentlemen.
I thought the Falcons did that cornerback wrong that we beat in 2016, number 20. Lord have mercy. Keith King, boy. I don't think we ever gonna forget him in this game, Coach.
No
I mean, those 3 plays that he messed up, you give up the opening touchdown. That play before halftime, they gonna be playing that before. Woo, Keith King, you lost your chance to be an NFL analyst on TV, dude. Because I would not want to be on ESPN and NFL Network when they playing those plays back. Go to the radio. I mean, Kevin, whatever your name is.
Now, Drew not more cerebral than Tom Brady. No, he's not. And Pate, you gotta. If we're gonna have the conversation, we gotta talk about people exercising their cerebral nature in clutch moments. So you can't divorce the comment when you're dealing with clutch and cerebralness. They go hand in hand.
Rev,
so if we're going to have the argument, who shows that they're the more cerebral quarterback during clutch moments, and it's Tom Brady. You can't divorce the two. I'm sorry. If we're going to have the discussion that counts, clutch counts, and how you are exercising your cerebral nature in clutch moments, that shows who's the higher person when it comes to having the best cerebral approach to the game. It's Tom Brady. You can't divorce it.
Rev, you got it right, Rev. It's nobody more cerebral. Montana, I've been watching football for a long time. And if I can think of anybody else that's more clutch than Montana or Brady,
I'm sorry. I'll give me. We could talk about it on Facebook.
Yeah,
because tell me how, put it on my Facebook page, how you can divorce cerebralness and clutchness. Put it on my Facebook page. Let's have the discussion.
Vincent Woodard said both of y'all wrong.
Okay. Jamarcus Russell. Okay.
Yeah.
That's right. I was trying to have a serious conversation. That's why I didn't even put Thomas' comment talking about Tom Brady as the new Steve DeBerg. I'm not trying to have serious right now.
We on the roll right now, Vincent, and you interrupting with your silly comment relief. You really trying to make a point to this little scrub, and we try to tell him that nobody is more clutch in our NFL lifetime. And Vincent, this is the truth. Nobody is more clutch than Montana or Brady. Now, you can throw Manning, you can possibly put Mahomes, but Breeze, dude, get out of here with this little one Super Bowl. I told you, that Super Bowl ring you got to throw some Windex on that thing. That thing's so dusty, man. And all the choke jobs he don't have since. Look, Breeze is a Hall of Famer, but to me, he is nowhere in Brady's class.
No.
Brady and Montana and maybe Mahomes. Matter of fact, I'm putting Manning down a little few steps because Manning had a few choke jobs himself in the playoffs.
Yeah, and that goes back to, being able to exercise your cerebral nature in clutch moments. Like, if you put it on paper, I would say Peyton Manning is probably the most cerebral quarterback because he literally was his team's offensive coordinator. But then I got to look at what happened down the stretch. And it did not come into fruition oftentimes when the game was on the line, like when it comes to Tom Brady. So I can't in good faith say that Manning, if you want to say the most cerebral quarterback for 3.5 quarters, let's go Manning. But when we're talking about when the game is on the line, how can you argue against Tom Brady? I just can't see it. And this is coming from a guy who does not like Tom Brady. It took me everything. It took everything out of me to post what I did last week calling Tom Brady to go. I can't stand Tom Brady. But I cannot deny what I saw. And if Tyron, you want to come on the show next week, we could talk about it in front of everybody on the Red Rev Sports Show. We'll give you the number to call in. All right, let's end this show. So
for real, I'm trying to act like he can't talk to us while we text him. Fool, we have addressed all your points, Tyron. You just are losing this battle. Okay?
Well, he's in his defense, Red. He's saying basically we have the bully pulpit because we have the air. And all he can do is text, so he can't really drive his point home like we're driving our point home. I give it to him.
Tell
we're in control of the situation because we're on air and he's texting. I give it to him. I'm not going to poo-poo on that point. So if he want, like I say, come on my Facebook page. We can have the conversation. We can come on the show next week. We can have the conversation. I'm good with it. Tell me how you can divorce cerebralness and clutchness. Let's have the conversation. All right, let's go. Let's go, man. Who has the right to do what, when, where, how? Let's go ahead and end it on this note. Who got it?
I'm so pumped up for these discussions. We ended it when motion be happening. But at least we giving them more. We ended always leaving wanting more. I guess that's how we doing it today. I guess I'll go Rev. You have the right. The Hawks. You got the right to give my Lakers a good game on Monday. I mean, I like how y'all been playing. You took care of business like you did, and the Lakers ain't been taking care of business lately. So, of course, they got to play, I think, Boston tomorrow. Then they start off Monday with my Hawks. So, Hawks, I don't know yet which team I'm going to go for, but the first game of the annual Red NBA Bowl begins on Monday, and I'll see who I'm gonna go with. Lakers or Hawks, whoever need the game the most. It's looking like the Lakers gonna need the game the most because the Hawks are right there in 6th spot in the East, and they spot, might be a little stable right now. The Lakers, we don't drop down to the number 3 spot.
All right, it's not to give you commentary. You can give him commentary. Who has to do what, when, where?
Who has the right to give us a good game on Monday? That's it.
All right, Coach. Who has the right to do what, when, where, how?
Kevin King, you got the right to change your name to Keith King so that you can try to make the Packers roster next year as a defensive back if you're still around and if they retain you next year after that debacle of a game trying to get to the Super Bowl. So you can change your name. Maybe they'll think you're a new roster player and you can try to show them some, coward.
Not only is Coach loyal to his teams, but he's loyal to the name of his players. We see that, all right?
He gonna be clueless clean after a while.
Let me just say this. We didn't get to it today, but Rev is in the driver's seat, not to be paying for Longhorns. Because Red is a game behind me now, so the best he can do is tie. And we already know who he's going for next week, because he despises my team. And he also knows that if he goes with my team, then he already has just signed up to pay for Longhorns. So Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, you all have the right to rest up, chill, take media day in stride, and be prepared to bring on home our second Super Bowl in the Patrick Mahomes era, win the championship, so that so that Coach and Rev can eat for the second year in a row off of Red's dime. So that's what you all have the right to do. And with that being said, that concludes
Thomas. Look at Thomas, Rev.
All right, let me say you have the right to have a great weekend. Stay safe. Great show, guys. Thank Vince. Thomas Holcomb. Got to catch this flight. The furthest grizzly bear dance. He's stupid.
Man,
Armani Mahomes not beating Brady at home. The football devil is alive. Please let Brady win so he can retire sick of it. You see Vincent entertaining Thomas's foolishness. Safe travels, Thomas. All right, everybody, have a blessed week. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to the Red Rev Sports Show, episode 174. It gets so good, we go over the time that we allotted. But nevertheless, as long as y'all here, we'll continue to give it to you. Next week, episode 175, 11 o'clock, a lot of Super Bowl talk. Bring in your analysis. If you want in on the show next week to tell us why your team is going to win, we're going to let you come in on the show next week. So look forward to episode 175 next Saturday, 11 o'clock of the Red and Rev Sports Show. We're out of here, everybody. Have a great week. Peace.